Alright, welcome back. Obiano used and abandoned my husband after achieving his political ambition. Alright, the news in detail. Nigeria's former ambassador to Spain and widow of Dame Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu, has laid accusations against the governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, who, according to her, abandoned her husband. The late Ojukwu was one of the founding fathers of the All Progressive Grand Alliance (APGA), under which Obiano has been elected twice. He was also a war hero and a vibrant political guru who made so much impact in his capacity in the political sphere, especially in the eastern part of the Federation. Bianca, speaking in an interview with news source The Sun, disclosed that Willie Obiano took advantage of his affinity with her husband and that after using her husband's image to campaign and achieve his political ambition, the governor now feels he is no longer relevant to the party. She further attacked Obiano of not giving proper respect to his late husband the way he ought to, and also said that inasmuch as Obiano was a successful banker, he knows little when it comes to political issues. History records that prior to his political ambition and interest in politics, Willie Obiano was a top director of Fidelity Bank. That did not stop Bianca, though, from pouring out her mind and opinion on the actions of the governor. She said that, well, it's essentially a problem of leadership. The leader of any political party needs to understand the hurdles and the bedrock on which the ideology of the party he seeks to lead is built. Governor Willie Obiano, who assumed the position of APGA party national leader and who ought to have championed his initiative to host a remembrance ceremony for Ojukwu, the pioneer national leader of APGA, and to all intents and purpose, the icon of the party has deemed it now worthwhile to do so, she said. The last remembrance event that was conducted in Anambra State to commemorate the anniversary of the death of Dame Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu by APGA-led government was in March 2013 under Governor Peter Obi and Chief Victor Ume as party chairman, but it still doesn't stop this Anambra State governor from rolling out his pictures for campaign purposes whenever the elections come up. When she was asked about what she felt was the reason behind the nonchalant attitude of Obiano towards Ojukwu, she replied, well, our people have this saying that a person who was not present when a corpse was buried starts to assume the corpse from the wrong end. The fact, if one has to be candid, is that Governor Obiano was a stranger to our political party who knew next to nothing about APGA's founding principles, ideology, and history. The iconic status of Ojukwu as party symbol also happens to be one such casualty, and I will use a simple example with regards to party branding which exposes the mindsets of this current APGA governor to buttress this point. Obiano declared that he has his own ideas regarding reinventing APGA as a major political force, but I expressed grave reservations concerning his approach and strategy. For starters, there is hardly anybody in Anambra State and beyond who doesn't know that APGA as a political party is inextricably intertwined with the personality of Ojukwu as its brand. It is a party that for which he labored right to his twilight hours. Hence, he is generally referred to as APGA's eternal leader. You can then imagine how dumbfounded I found when a short while after he won re-election for a second term as governor, having campaigned with Ojukwu's pictures blazing through every billboard in the state, as well as on APGA campaign buses, party uniforms, and other para, paraphernalia. Obiano casually informed me that he would be phasing out all APGA party uniforms that displayed Ojukwu's image, as had been the normal tradition with APGA apparel, and would be replacing them with party uniforms that would be branded solely with his own image or with a cockerel as symbol. Since according to him, Ojukwu was no longer relevant to the party, and I quote him, that he could no longer continue to tie the faith and fortunes of APGA to the memory of a dead man. Well, whatever he meant by it, I considered the remark to be rather unfortunate and, to say the least, laughable, though his reasoning was acutely flawed, and I considered his contemptuous reference to Ojukwu before me merely as a dead man, and which as a dead man who was no longer relevant to APGA, deeply offensive and disrespectful. It became obvious to me that Obiano, a relatively unknown banker living out his retirement in America, had forgotten to soon how he went about from community to community pleading with the people of Anambra State, who have great sentimental attachment to the Igbo hero, to vote for him in deference to Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu. He raises several questions. Was he now saying that he was not aware of the fact that Ojukwu was deceased when he was using the man's image to canvass for vote? Even more, did he not visit the same Ojukwu's grave to pour libations and pray for a favorable outcome for his elections? Are the pictures of that visit not there for all to see? Inasmuch as many would love to share in the sentiments of Madam Bianca, it is also important that fair thought be given to some loopholes in her argument by asking certain salient questions. For instance, let's just think, please, how do we position APGA as a national party with Ojukwu's face on it? Secondly, which of the leading parties in the federation have such, and even anywhere in the world? In all of this, many of the views that it is only fair and wise to look into grievances of all involved, but with a great sense of open-mindedness and objectivity for the common good of the party. Alright, that is it on this one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.